beautiful people, I'm Raish Phoenix, and in today's video I will be showing you guys how I created this look. I've been wanting to do this Catwoman inspired look for a while now. This is actually my third time attempting it. I feel like the other times where I tried to do it the first time, I was kind of really just getting a good feel for the smokiness of the eye. The second time, girl, I didn't have enough energy for that day. And third time is a charm. For the other times, I was going to go with the look where she had like the bob haircut, but as I thought about it more, I wanted to kind of embody more of Catwoman outside of her disguises and more so how she pulls up if she's really just trying to get the job done. So I really wanted to embrace when she had her hair shorter and in the cat suit. I don't really have a long sleeve leather jumpsuit, so I decided to just go with this bodysuit that I have, and I feel like it just works well with this look. Decided to go with my short blue hair wig, and I really like it, just putting my own spin on it. I'm really happy with how this eye look turned out. I usually run from using black eyeshadow because I feel like it's just gonna get really dark really quick, and the raccoon eyes will probably appear over time, kind of just through trial and error of trying to create this look, realizing how pressure plays a really huge part in your ability to build up a particular shade. Even just having a base, so of course like the parts of my eye where you see that I have like a black cream base, like an eyeliner, the black is more intense, whereas the areas where I didn't put a base, you have more of like a smoky feel to it. If you'd like to see how I created this look, then keep on watching.
Hello beautiful people, let's get started with today's look. I'm going to be grabbing my LA Girl matte bronzer, picking up that shade on the bottom, and this is in Sunset Glow. I'm focusing first on building this up on the outer portion of the crease, bringing it into the inner lid and crease because we are going to be doing a halo eye for today. And just making sure that I'm winging it out on the outer portion of the lid. So this is the general shape that I'm going for, just really making sure I'm lifting it by the brow bone. Next, I'm grabbing my Be Perfect Carnival XL Pro palette with Stacey Marie. And I'm going to be picking up that shade Intuition. I'll be using this to add more depth to this look. Notice how I'm using a brush that is more flared out, so this is going to help cover more area and make sure that it's really diffused. Again, focusing on the outer portion and very innermost portion of the lid to really help bring that halo eye to life. Next, I'm picking up the shade Lights Out. Again, notice the brush that I'm using. Now, because the shade is black, I'm using a light hand when I am applying it and really giving myself time to build that shade up. This is going to help with just having a really great gradient between the shades that we already put down, just giving it that smoky look. Next, I'm picking up Suede Fringe, my LA Girl Sunset Glow, Sunkiss Glow? Sunset Glow? Girl, you see me using it, so I pretty much warmed the product up on a piece of paper towel. That's what my swirling motion was. And I'm going in with a brush first to pick up the product and place it on the lid. This is going to help create more of like a specific transition with how it applies between the eyeshadow and the base. In the Stacey Marie palette, I'm just picking up that shimmer shade Inspire, and I'm going to be placing that on top of the base. Picking up Chem, so this is from Oma Beauty, using this in the waterline. Grabbing my LA Girl Jet Setter Liquid Liner, really lifting that liner up because like I said, this is a cat eye, halo cat eye pretty much, so I'm really being mindful of how I'm lifting the eye look up. I picked up the shade Lights Out and I'm placing it on top of the liner, smudging it the slightest bit because again, this is like a smoky halo eye and I don't want it to be too crisp, so to speak. So I'm really making sure that I'm adding a little bit of diffusing to it. With my makeup remover wipes, I'm cleaning up the outermost edge of this look and any fallout that may have happened. Off camera, I applied my Danessa Myricks Beauty Oil, as well as the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer and my e.l.f. color corrector in orange. For today, we're going to be using the Juvia's Place Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation in the shade Tanzania. I'm putting it on the back of my hand, and girl, I kind of put a lot. I'm thinking about it like that was a lot, but picking up with my damp beauty blender, damp with water, and I'm just gonna apply it, just really building up the shade. As I've said before in my most recent makeup tutorials, as of late, I don't really care for applying product directly onto the face because I really want to control the placement as well as how much I put on. And girl, this foundation is full coverage, so using a light hand and really just building it up as needed. Grabbing my Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick from Alma Beauty in shade number 3, again placing it on the back of my hand, grabbing a smaller beauty blender and using that to apply it to the areas I want to contour. So I'm focusing this mostly on the upper portion of the nose as well as the very bottom. And then in any areas of my lace front where I want to add more of a shadow to it. Grabbing my Juvia's Place I Am Magic concealer, this is in the shade number 9. I'm going to be applying that to all the areas of my face that I want to conceal. So I did allow this to dry down on the face for about like 10 minutes, but girl, I don't think it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Like I feel like I just need a brighter concealer. It's more so the shade that I have as opposed to the product performance, but you know, just letting y'all know the process and what I did. Now I'm grabbing my beauty blender and just blending that out. Using the very bottom that still has foundation to blend out the outer edges of that concealer. Applying more to the top of the mouth, and then I do use the excess concealer to carve out underneath the cheekbones as well as placing it on the chin, which you can see me doing right now. Grabbing my LA Girl Cream Blush, this is in the shade Blissful. Y'all know the drill, putting it on the back of my hand. I'm just diffusing it out so when I pick it up with my beauty blender, it's not just clumped up into one section of it. Just being super patient, building that shade up and applying it to the highest points of my cheekbone. From Laura Mercier, I'm grabbing their translucent setting powder in Honey. I'll be using this to apply to all the places that I highlighted. All my smudges are always damp, but just letting y'all know. Grabbing a damp beauty blender, using the pointed part of it to pick up the product, diffusing it, and then pressing it into the skin. After that, I'll be grabbing their translucent setting powder in Medium Deep. I'm going to be using my powder puff to apply this, so I pretty much fold it kind of like a taco, dip the powder puff into the product, rub it together, invert the fold, and I'm just using this like twisting hand motion. So what this does is it's supposed to give you like a filter effect with the way that you set it. For the nose, because it's a lot harder to get with a powder puff, I'm going to be using a brush to apply that powder to set it. Grabbing my Colored Rain Naughty Spice bronzer, I'm going to be using this the slightest bit, and I mean the slightest bit, to add more depth to my cheekbones. So you can see this is the area where I'm focusing it, not bringing it too low, just really focusing it on that part of my face. Here's my trusty matte bronzer in Sunset Glow. Of course, you know I'm always grabbing that bottom shade. I'm going to be using this to accentuate the very top of my nose as well as the bottom. Grabbing my KVD translucent setting powder. Using the Beauty Blender, putting it on the very pointed part. This is to add additional brightness to the center of the face. Working with what I got, using that translucent powder to be very intentional about what parts of my face I want to add more light. So if you're watching this and you're going to recreate the look or just do the same thing, just be mindful of where you want to accentuate on your face. You don't have to do the exact thing I did, just do what you want to do, boo. Do what you want to do. Grabbing my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Setting Spray, I'll be using that to set my face. My camera overheated so I couldn't show y'all, but I use my Beauty Blender as well as a regular fan to set and press it into the skin. From the Crankcase, I'm grabbing their dark brown eyebrow pomade, and I'm going to be using this to fill in my brows, focusing first on just creating hair-like brushstrokes with the product, filling in any of the areas of my brow that's sparse. At the tail of the brow, that's where I'm creating more of a defined shape. And then at the very most top, as well as like a little bit on the bottom, but mostly focusing on keeping that like hair-like approach and not carving it out too much. You've seen the matte bronzer, you know what it is. Using the shade on the bottom, I'm using it like pretty blown out. Like I'm not trying to keep it too clean because again, smoky eye, we want the drama. Bringing that down. Grabbing my Chem eyeliner from Beauty again, I'm going to be placing this in the waterline. And then the very outermost corners of the waterline, that's when I'm going to bring it down a little bit more onto the lash line. So really just exaggerating those two outer portions of the waterline. Grabbing Lights Out from that Stacey Marie palette, again, grabbing a very like fluffy brush to help diffuse the outer and inner portion. As you guys will see me do, picking up the previous brush that I used to help diffuse, you're going to want to do that, like use a previous shade to really help diffuse and smooth out and smoke out that shade. Grabbing Lights Out again, so I'm just using this to set the waterline, so you know, as the day goes on, this shade actually stays as much as I can keep it there. In my ColourPop Sweet Talk palette, I'm going to be picking up the glitter in Prima Drama. I'm going to be focusing this on the center of the upper and lower lid. Now on the bottom I was like, girl, I applied too much. It was way too much, but you know, it actually worked out. So it's really up to you how much glitter you want to put. I really wanted that packed on, so it was packed on. It was an accident at first and then it worked out, so yeah. From Beauty, I'm grabbing their Drama Bomb mascara and applying that to my lashes. For Libra lashes, I'm going to be grabbing Lash Style number 5. This is what they look like. Applied it off camera. From Bare Minerals, I'm grabbing their Kiss of Copper Blonzer. I was like, girl, what is it called? And applying that to my cheeks. From Anastasia Beverly Hills, I'm going to be using the Amrezy highlight. Girl, I'm sorry, I be trying to avoid using things that are discontinued, but I just needed that glow. So if you have a highlight, use whatever favorite highlight you have that has that champagne glow. Just do what you gotta do, boo. Do what you gotta do. From Beauty, I'm going to be using their lip liner. This is in the shade Simone, and I'm focusing that on the perimeter of my lips. I think I forgot to tell you guys, but for the brows, I used the e.l.f. Brow Lift Gel. So I applied that in the very beginning of doing this look, and then I applied the eyebrow pomade. From Beauty, I'm filling in my lips with the shade Kit. On top of that, I will be placing my Buxom Plump Shot tint, and this is in the shade Lingerie. From the Sweet Talk palette, I'm just picking up that glitter again, Prima Drama, and placing it on the very innermost corner of my eye. So be careful with this. Of course, you don't want to get any glitter in your eye, so I'm trying to keep it kind of closer to the nose.
At the very end, I decided to add the Soul Glow Oil. This is in the shade Golden. I'm really happy with how today's look turned out. Something about me being heavy-handed with the glitter really makes me feel like this is giving off Joker vibes, but I ain't mad at it, you know? A little glitter, a lot of glitter ain't never hurt nobody. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye, guys.